Hello, my name is Eric Williams from wordsofwilliams.com. Just wanted to do a tutorial here of how I use YNAB, short for You Need a Budget, software version 4, I guess you could say. Um, and it's software I personally really love. So here's a quick tutorial. Basically, when you open up your budget, you're going to have a look at a few different views. The three main ones: budget, reports, and all accounts. The majority of your time, unless you're kind of analyzing your spending and things like that, are going to be within the budget and the all accounts view. All accounts view here is showing basically your transaction log. So as you go through the month, you're going to start logging your transactions, things you're purchasing, that kind of thing. But first I'm going to jump over to the budget, and we're going to kind of do like a typical month. So here I've got laid out in January the budget, basically showing we had $8,000 to start with, $3,000 in our checking account and $5,000 in our savings. So that $5,000 just went to the emergency fund down here, and then the rest of it got allocated out through the budget, giving, monthly bills, everyday expenses, that sort of thing. And you can put in whatever numbers you want in these. So you just kind of click on the cell, type your number, hit enter for really quick calculating, and it does all the math for you. So change that back to 500. And basically what you're doing is, YNAB's rule of 1 is you're giving every dollar a job. So we want this to be 0 at the end of the day to show that we're kind of spending all our money on paper before we get to the month. So basically you go through the month and you pay all these, typically all these bills are going to get paid, and so they'll show transactions here in this outflow category as you do that. But then the cool thing, when you go to set up February's budget, this is kind of one of my favorite tips, I guess, for YNAB, is when I go to set my February budget, all I do is click this little lightning icon here, and then I select budget values used last month. And what that does is it gives me a starting point. So when I go ahead and fill in empty budget cells, it's going to allocate that same amount. Well, I'm not going to probably, unless you're got a lot of cash flow, you're probably not going to save another 5,000 after that starting balance was entered that first month. So I'm going to take that out, and then basically, you see this 3,000 I'm short. What's going to happen is in January I'm kind of saving up using YNAB's rule 4. Live on last month's income. So I'm going to be spending what I made in January and February, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But basically, all these bills are pretty static, so I know that these payments are going to stay the same. Some of the ones that might fluctuate, if I wanted to subtract $50 from the grocery category, all I have to do is hit the minus key on my keyboard, and a calculator shows up, and I can say I want to subtract that by $50. I want to try to save $50 on groceries this month. So hit the minus key, 50, hit enter, and it automatically does that calculation for you. So very powerful here. And then let's see, if I did want to take that extra $50 and say put it toward Christmas, all I got to do is click in that cell, hit $50, and enter. One thing you'll see here is if I didn't spend any money in a category, so say I had some extra money left over and finishing my basement was my goal for the month in January, I was able to save $525 toward that in January, but in February I don't want to save that money. So I'm going to delete that, hit enter. But the cool thing is that all these savings goals, they just carry forward from month to month. So here I saved $525. In February I didn't save anything, but it's still showing me the balance of $525. So I don't need to keep a separate spreadsheet or transfer it to my savings account. I mean, you can do all those things, but YNAB just makes it really easy and streamlined to see the things you're saving for on a regular basis. So this works well for irregular bills. We pay our property taxes every 6 months, and so we just kind of save up for that every month. Christmas, birthdays, all those sorts of things become really easy in YNAB to save on an ongoing basis. Also, some other quick tips. I mean, you can change the with the columns and things like that, like you would most applications. You can collapse up all of the master categories if you want to. If you want a more granular look at your numbers, you can expand them one by using the arrows, or expand them all down using this quick key. You can also add a new master category very easily with this plus button, and then select done. And then within that master category, if you wanted to create subcategories, you can start doing that just very easily. And all of these things can be moved around just with the click of the hand there, and hold the mouse and move it where you want to whatever makes sense to you. And so I like that it's really flexible and it's really powerful. It's easy to use, and I also love that you can take it on the go with their mobile apps. So here's that's basically my quick look around the budget tab. Let's look at the all accounts and get a feel for how to keep track of things on an ongoing monthly basis. So basically I started with the starting balances as 2 transactions here. I can add a different transaction. So say my paycheck came in that I'm going to use for February. I'm going to label that paycheck. Income for February, and then say it's that same amount, 3,000. Then that's logged in there. You'll also notice too, as you start to type, it kind of has an autofill feature, which makes it really nice from month to month. As you get going and you use YNAB more and more, it just gets smarter and smarter in anticipating kind of where you want to put things, and that also just makes the budgeting process a lot easier and a lot faster. Again, something I really love. Scheduled transactions is also a really cool feature. I can click on this and say, on the 22nd of every month, and you can set the frequency just depending on what that is, every other month, every 3 months, whatever it may be. I'm going to go monthly for this one. I'm going to say I have to pay the electric company, and it's going to come out of the electricity category at outflow of $50 a month. And I did all that just by tabbing over. You just kind of enter and tab, and that's just really nice and quick to set things up and work in this section here. So now basically when the 22nd comes around, that transaction is all automatically going to occur. So I can do this for all of my bills that are auto drafted every month, and kind of make that sort of slick and easy, so that all I'm having to do is manage my discretionary categories and spending as it happens. So basically that's it for the accounts tab. If you want to analyze, you can go look at the reports tab. Again, there's not a lot of data here in this budget, so not a lot to look at, but you can do spending by category, spending by payee, all these kinds of things to kind of get trends and things into your spending. But again, I'd focus most of your time on the budget. Anyway, that's the quick look around YNAB. Hope you'd enjoy this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. Thanks so much.